Hey everyone, it's Joe. This is actually a response video to Sama on Trainee Star, and this is last week's video I'm responding to, so I'm a week late, but I just rewatched it, and it made me think of a couple of funny anecdotes I thought I would share with you. So, Sama, I just wanted to let you know that I love your videos. I always look forward to your day of the week, because you always speak to me. You always say something that gets me thinking, and I love your gentle way and your observations. So anyway, my name is Joe, and born female, identify as genderqueer and or gender variant, and I just thought of something. The question is, are you a boy or are you a girl? And as I present female nowadays, that question doesn't get asked too often, but when I was younger, I was quite extreme in my appearance. I had a shaved head at one point in my life. I used to wear suits in the 90s, suits and ties with a shaved head. The very first time I ever remember that question, though, it's kind of funny. I was 13, and I was a pretty tomboyish 13. I hadn't yet hit puberty, and I had a very, very girly sister who was 14, and she would have been probably, yeah, she had already hit puberty, and she used to wear makeup and look like a girl. Anyway, we went up north up north in Ontario usually means camping or to a lake or something. Means like vacation. Anyway, with my cousins and their baby, Krista. And Krista was only about 2 at the time. And I remember she kept calling my sister, she was only a 2-year-old, and she kept calling my sister the lady. She'd say, "Where's the lady? Where's the lady? And where's Mr. Joe?" Somehow I got the name Mr. Joe. And she was only 2. And, I mean, I think she just concocted this on her own. And we were all laughing. We thought it was hilarious, you know, the out of the mouths of babes thing or whatever, where, you know, some 2-year-old concocted this. But I remember at the time not being offended by it at all, like thinking it was funny. And, it's funny because at that time, you know, as I was approaching womanhood or girlhood or whatever, I remember dreading it. I was 14 when I finally got my period, and I remember being mortified and never quite getting over it. I never bought a bra until it was, you know, absolutely, I think it was like a C cup, the first bra I ever bought. I was dreading that too. A lot of those milestones that a lot of girls look forward to, I never did. I was dreading all of them, hated it, hated everything about it, still do. But yeah, that very first time I ever was mistaken for a boy, I remember thinking it was funny. And then some years later, it's kind of off topic, but I remember I've always had a big fat gut. I don't carry weight proportionately the way women do in their hips or whatever. I'm all belly and boobs. So anyway, I was standing in line to get something to eat at a like a cafeteria style restaurant, and I remember I said, "Should I get the small or the large?" And I was wearing a big baggy top, and the cashier said, the lady serving up the pasta or whatever said, "Oh, well, you should get the large if you're eating for 2." And again, I laughed. Like, here's this woman presuming I was pregnant. Most women would be mortified. And I was like, whatever, I have a big fat gut. It's like, it's an honest mistake. So whenever people have made comments to me about my appearance and made implications that other people would be very upset about, I've never been upset. I always I like gender fuckery. I like people... I like pushing the buttons and getting people to realize that it doesn't matter. It's okay. It's not an insult if someone thinks you're pregnant. It's not an insult if someone thinks I'm a man. Just as it's not an insult if they think I'm a woman. I mean, I used to be very offended about that, and I still struggle with that a lot when people... I once had a guy friend of mine tell me that I was pretty, and I remember thinking, what the fuck are you talking about? And he said, "You don't know it, do you?" And I said, "No, I don't actually." And I still don't think that's an appropriate word to describe the way I look. But anyway, that's what he said, and I shouldn't be offended. Just like I shouldn't be offended if he had said I was handsome. And generally, I'm not. I still struggle with, you know, being mistaken for a girl. That's the way I like to put it. I struggle with being mistaken for a girl. Because I don't feel like I am one. And I'm not. Technically, I'm genderqueer. I'm just born in a female body. And I have some female attributes, I suppose. So I guess that's it. It's just a quick response to your questions about are you a boy or are you a girl, and if you're mistaken, how do you deal with that question? I wish I was mistaken for a guy more often now. I think since I've grown my hair out, I like having long hair. I've always liked having long hair. I think it was because I was the child of a very tomboyish mother who cut my hair very, very short all through my childhood. And I never grew my hair out long until I was in my 20s. And once I grew really long hair, I just kind of kept it. Yeah, and I haven't, you know, it's funny because I run a discussion board for people who don't have and don't want children. I never wanted children. I had my tubes tied when I was 26. And a lot of people presume child-free adults, a lot of the, presume people, women who don't want children tend to have, well, they stereotype them, right? That we might be kind of dykey, and I'm kind of an opinionated person. So online I come off as a very strongly opinionated, kind of rough and tumble person in my writing style. And when people first saw me on video or heard my voice, they always commented on how feminine my voice was. And I remember thinking, that's weird. Like, I've never thought much about my voice. It's my voice. I mean, would I want a rougher voice or a more masculine voice? I don't really care. It's neither here nor there. I mean, so long as I'm being heard. I get accused of talking too quickly sometimes. But I like my singing voice, and I love to sing. And I noticed recently, as I've started to get better at singing and at getting good at specific songs in specific keys, I wouldn't want that to change, because then I couldn't sing those songs anymore in that key, you know, like at karaoke or whatever. So I like my voice, even though it's feminine. And I like my hair, even though it's long. So I guess I can get used to certain feminine things, perhaps, because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Okay, I think I've gone on long enough. I'll catch you later. Thanks for everything. Thanks for your great videos, Sam. I love them as always. Bye-bye.